What's going on, guys? Evan the Xenogears Enthusiast here. I am bringing you what is likely going to be my very last Call of Duty 4 gameplay commentary ever. I know there's only been like 3. This will be 3, so maybe I'll do like a bonus one sometime. But all in all, not a whole lot of commentary going to go on here. This game's old. I don't think anybody really needs any gameplay tips for it. This is just sort of COD 4 in review, because while I've played COD 4 in the past, I've never really given it a fair shake, and after a day and 10 hours played time, some of that was spent not actually trying to grind levels, but just playing around on the game. I can safely say that I at least know a good bit about the current state of Call of Duty 4. I don't know how it used to be, or how it was in the glory, but I can talk about the high points and the low points of how things are on Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare now. That sounded like I made it part of the title. Sorry. I can talk about the current state of affairs in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. There'll probably be some people disagreeing, but all in all, these are my thoughts, and what a great way to do a last commentary ever, but then to say your final thoughts when you look at the game in review. The reason I haven't done these for Black Ops is after Modern Warfare 3 comes out, I am going to make a commitment to still play Black Ops, because I like Black Ops a lot, and after playing this Modern Warfare 2, I could safely say that it was my favorite of the bunch. So, maybe the COD games are just getting better. I don't know. I didn't play World at War, unfortunately, and I don't think I'm ever going to. I don't want a prestige token that badly. I just kind of got on the COD 4 thing because I felt kind of obligated as a COD 4, casual commentator, just to know sort of, I think, where the all multiplayer craze began for the Call of Duty series, and now I'm qualified to actually say I played it at length, and I really did play the hell out of this game. I've only had it for maybe three and a half days, really, and I've already played it for a day and 10 hours, so that said, and I'm sure the negative points in this review probably didn't exist back when the game launched. I don't know, but I would gander that a lot of the negatives I'm going to outline at one time probably didn't exist. So let's start with sort of my thoughts on the positive sides of this game and just sort of some things I observed. Let me a little disclaimer before I even jump into that. I understand that. I mean, I would have wanted more attachments on my guns. I wanted kill streak customization. I wanted more guns, period. But I get that this game's older, and that all wasn't going to be there. I've been spoiled by more recent COD games. I get that this, they weren't there yet with the series, and so I'm not faulting the game on that. But just know that, yes, as someone who's coming back, it did kind of get boring using the limited variety of guns. So I think the critical element to Call of Duty gameplay is, the Call of Duty engine doesn't change much, so I don't need to elaborate on that. You love it or you hate it, I think. But differences I noticed in COD 4, the knife seems great in COD 4. You can still knife people, but there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of lunge, if any lunge, and not a whole lot of people panic knife in this game. I don't know why that is, but I'm all about that. So if the knife could be replicated like it is in COD 4 to every other Call of Duty, I could live with that. And sometimes I still bump into people and they get the panic knife, but it's not too much. And this is all mostly in comparison to Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, since those are the only 2 points of reference I have for COD 4, but the knife is far, far less exciting than in Modern Warfare 2. There's no commando, first off, but secondly, these don't have any lunge whatsoever. Also, with this knife, I feel like if you don't hit them with it dead on, you don't get anything. Whereas on Black Ops, man, like, I've had people, clearly knife over my head or knife to the side and they still get me, so I'm glad the knife is really, really picky on its hit detection. It should be. It's a knife. I think even in COD 4 the knife's overpowered, but, the fact is, this knife I could settle for. This would still let people do their knife This would still let people do their knife-only gameplay, like, only use my blade, like I like to do on occasion. You get the idea. So that's definitely an upside, is the way the knife was done. The other weapons, the actual guns, for such a small variety, I think there was a variety. Different guns all felt different. They all handled differently. It was more than just recoil patterns, at least in my mind. I've never pulled up the stats chart on this game, probably never will. But they all felt like they had different damage and different elements to them, and that was great. I thought the semi-automatics seemed pretty much awful. Not a huge fan. The sniper rifles all seem fine and balanced in their own way. One is probably strictly better than another, but whatever, I'm over that. The SMGs all seem fine. I did not like the mini Uzi, but I'm sure the weapon handles fine. I did well enough with it that once I got the hang of it, I'm sure it would have been, you know, better than I'm giving it credit for. What else? The assault rifles were still the dominantly best weapons in my opinion. No big deal. The M16 was clearly overpowered in this game. I have no doubt that it is the Uber of Call of Duty 4. And that's fine. Most COD games ultimately wind up with having the best weapon. And thankfully, I don't see a whole lot of people using the M16 on this game, which is great. So, I like the way the SMG's handled on this. Great. Really good up close. Not so good at long shotting. Makes a lot of sense, really. LMGs still felt crappy to me, and they probably always will be crappy in the COD series. I think until they remove that run-walk penalty, they're always going to be crap. And they really should remove that run-walk penalty. Sniper rifles are a really heavy gun. People can run at those with SMG speeds. One thing that's really, really bad about the weapon balance, at least to me, this might just be my ignorance talking, is the shotguns in this game bite. Black Ops shotguns were better than this, and Black Ops shotguns were terrible. Just this game, I can't trust the shotguns at all. They get ridiculous hit markers. I can line up shots and get hit markers. They're not good panic weapons up close. They're pretty much camping inside of buildings weapons, and any weapon works there. Your variety of secondaries is extremely limited, and I think even for a game as old as this, the secondary weapon variety was lacking. I expected handguns only, but pretty much the Desert Eagle was clearly the best handgun. I can't see an excuse to use anything else. The damage was really high. The rate of fire is as fast as you can click the trigger. Great, great, great. Now, at the same time, I guess you can't suppress it, but no one really cares. The way the perk balance is, there's Stopping Power and Juggernaut, which increase damage or health, which are so dominant that UAV jammer is so rare that everyone's on UAV anyway. So suppressing, while good, you still show up on UAVs a lot, so not that exciting. And you're likely not suppressing your primary weapon in this game, because you're just not. There's not a lot of varieties of either a sight or a suppressor or a tube, and a lot of people use the tube, I think, just because it's the best. There's no overblowing tubing. The danger close perk in this game, Sonic Boom, is still really lame. And people that use Frag X3 and Sonic Boom and or Tube and Sonic Boom, you have no shame. Please stop playing Call of Duty. Thanks. Those are some things I like. The perk balance I like as a whole. There's some mistakes in the perks, clearly, but yeah, it was a testing period, and those mistake perks aren't overused. Like Frag 3 is clearly overpowered if you know what you're doing. Bandoleer's fine. Claymores are fine. All that stuff's fine. It's just Frag X3 and Sonic Boom both seem really out of place to me and probably shouldn't have made it into the game. I don't have any other complaints on any other perks. Oh, Martyrdom! Martyrdom is the lamest perk ever. Drop a nade and you die. That's just such a griefing perk. Last Stand is a big griefer perk. I don't like griefing perks in general, but you know, I don't think they're a big deal. Martyrdom, once you get the hang of expecting half the community to run Martyrdom, which they do, you get the hang of running away. So I like those things about COD 4 a lot. About halfway through the video, so I should probably change gears and talk about the things I don't like in COD 4. I don't like the maps on COD 4. I mean, I do like some of them, but as a whole, I don't like the maps. So you get a lot of duds like Shipment, Vacant. And Vacant was in Modern Warfare 2, and that's lame. I hate those two. I hate maps. I don't mind really fast-paced maps. Like, I like Nuketown fine. It's probably on my like top 5 least favorite Black Ops maps, but that's preference. I think that this game has too many maps that are just designed to be like a small, constant battling that I don't really think suits the game that well. More of a Halo thing. I think if you want really fast-paced constant action, Halo is a better game. Now, I'm not a Halo expert, maybe that's just an ignorant statement, but I played Halo on Live, and I don't know, I think that Halo gets you a lot more action, clearly. So, aside from that, things I really dislike. I really dislike the community on COD 4. I think it's just because the game is aged, but the people still playing it, not to criticize anybody who's not doing these things, but you drive me bonkers. The overemphasis on sniping on this game is completely out of control. I think people use snipers almost constantly. That's like the thing on this game. It's so annoying. I was trying a little hardcore because that's one of the games you can get into more easily. because the community's small at this point, and that's to be expected. The people still playing, though, headquarters, hardcore anything with hardcore headquarters is fairly popular. It is so annoying when people are trying to do their 360 snipes and they wind up friendly firing their team. I'm telling you, in all the Call of Duty games, when you want to be completely ignorant and just do goofy, wonky things that are ineffective by nature or just griefing, go play free-for-all. That's what it's there for. I'll just leave it at that. Little disclaimer here, I'm not against quickscopers. I think it's kind of lame it's in the game, but I would never have them take it out because it keeps the community involved in the game longer. I think people will fade away from Black Ops because they can't quickscope. And I think quickscope is a big part of the game for a lot of people for whatever reason. So, yeah, that's cool. Keep it in the game, but just understand that there's nothing wrong with hard scoping either, and that it's a little tiresome to see the people being complete morons about it, just like overemphasizing it. I like the quickscope tryhards like Hutcher, for example, who they just quickscope because they can. You know, they hardscope a lot too. Those are the people I like. Let's move on. The hacking and modding on this game is stupid. That's why I posted this gameplay. Games like this are not uncommon. You're going to run into these a lot. You're going to run into spam probably every 3 games. Every other game more likely, but you might get lucky and have like every other day, every 3 days. You can get every game in a row. That, because the community's so small, you get stuck in lobbies with the same people over and over, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You just have to play with them because the community's so small, it's them or no one. And once you get one guy glitching, or hacking, or whatever it is they're doing, you're just stuck. And infinite ammo, no reloads is common, such as this gameplay. While out of level hacks, like where you're floating up in the air, floating off screen, those are common. The spam is constant. Whatever. I did not really enjoy that about Call of Duty 4, and that should go without saying. That's just a lack of support from the developers, and that's not going to change. COD 4's stuck like this, in my opinion. If they prove me wrong, great. But I think the hacking and modding is the thing that keeps me from ever coming back to this game. Getting wall banged and search destroyed by a wall hacker, just not my thing. Or doing this, what you're watching right now, just not my thing. So those two big letdowns in my COD 4 experience. Finally, my last little pet peeve is the weapon challenges are kind of lame because I've done all of them but 2 of the sniper rifles, and I'm almost max prestige. So you could do them all before you reach max prestige probably if you weren't playing headquarters. And that's just lame. People need things to strive for, I think. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's my COD 4 in a nutshell, and thanks for checking it out.